squeeze the front of the block and turn your thighs to inner spiral. This is nice because you can see the inner spiral clearly in your legs. So the inner groins sink. Take your pubic bone towards the front of your mat, so recreate the anterior arch, especially if you lost it. Recreate the anterior arch in your lower back. That's right. The anterior arch in your lower back. Lift your chest, lift your collarbones up. 1. Head in line with spine. 2. 3. 4. You bend your knees, put your feet on the floor. Lift your hips, lengthen your lower back towards your heels. Lengthen your lower back towards your heels. Take your elbows out, hold your head with your hands, and lift your head up. Engage your upper core, lift your chest up. Still squeezing the block, still connecting with the inner spiral. Dropping the pubic bone, taking the pubic bone slightly forward towards the front of the mat. Keep your back ribs on the ground. 3. 4. Press your big toes down. Lift the inner arches up. 4. You just place your hands and your head onto the floor. Just leave your hands interlaced. Put your hands on the floor, your head on the floor. Press into your heels. So your heels are close to your hips, as close as you can bring them. Big toes are grounding down into the floor. And then we're going to lift the pelvis up off the floor, still holding the block. And you're just resting your head in your hands and lifting the hips up and hold. 1. Squeezing the block. Also near the knee, not just at the inner upper thigh. 2. 3. Keep lifting the hips, the pelvis up. Let's take the hands out from under the head. Hold your height. Bring your arms down by your side. Press your palms down onto the floor. All of your fingers, your wrists, your forearm bones, your elbows, your triceps, your biceps. Press down. Lift your chest up higher, 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 higher. Press your arms down to lift your chest up. Press your arms down to lift your chest up. Between your collarbones lift, between your shoulder blades lift. Hold the action in your feet as you lower your pelvis back down to the floor. Just hold your block, stay focused. Bring your heel of your hand to the crease at the top of your thighs. And with the heel of your hand, press your thighs a little bit forward. We did this yesterday. You're trying to release your quads. Release the psoas muscle, low belly, lower back. Take a few deep breaths. Bring your feet in very close to your hips. With your hands, reach down. See if you can grab your heels with your fingers. Press your big toes down, your heels down. The rest of the foot lifts up. The inner thighs spiral inwards. We're going to lift the arms up, the fingers pointing up towards the ceiling. Pull your shoulders down to the floor. So your fingers are pointing up. Pull your shoulder blades down into the floor. So the shoulders are pulling down. Palms are facing in towards each other. Face your palms in and pull your shoulders down. Energize your fingertips. Soften your shoulders down. Let your shoulders drop. Drop your shoulders down. Soften between your collarbones. Soften your chest muscles. Let your upper back be wide on the floor right now. Widen your upper back on the floor. Let it drop. Keep the energy flowing through the fingertips. And start to bend just your elbows. Keep your elbows over your shoulders. Bend your elbows. Keep your elbows over your shoulders. Pause. The forearm bones parallel to the ground. The arms in a right angle. Arms in a right angle. I always can tell who failed geometry. I need to find another way. Palms still facing in. Palms facing each other. Right palm facing the left palm. Left palm facing elbows over shoulders. Arms in a right angle. Just a couple more breaths here. So wrists are the width of the elbows, which are the width of the shoulders. The shoulders are dropping down towards the floor. The arms are in a right angle. Wrists are elbow width and the elbows are shoulder width. These muscles need to soften. And then you're going to bring the pinkies together. So your palms are now going to be facing the head. Pinkies, but the wrists are still elbow height. And the shoulders are still pulling down. And the pinkies are touching. Now bring your pinkies together to touch. The scooping action of scooping the elbows in. This is an important action for the shoulder blades in preparation for Urdhva Dhanurasana. The elbows scoop in. We bring the whole inner hand, pinky part of the hand to touch. Pinky part of the hand to touch. Try to hold this rotation in your upper arm bone as you bring your palms to the floor beside your ears. Fingers turn towards your feet. Getting ready to do a Urdhva Dhanurasana. The wheel. Just pause though. I'm not going to go quick. Fingers should be turned towards your feet. I'm going to look for that same scooping action. The elbows coming in towards each other. This needs to soften down. This one too. I'll hold you, you soften. The shoulders pulling down towards the ground. Scooping action of the elbows in. Just connect right now with all of your fingertips. Find your shoulders. Can you pull your shoulders down into the floor and down? Soften here and here as I hold you. Keep focused on that. Shoulders down into the floor and away from the ears. So the inner arms spiraling down towards the ground, into the head, down to the ground, the outer arms spiraling up towards the ceiling and into the midline. Okay, here we go. Lisa, bring your elbows in way more. I'm coming back, Talia, just focus on that. Bring your elbows in to shoulder width. Shoulders down. There. You're going to come onto the crown of your head. Start lifting your pelvis. Lift your pelvis. Slow down. Pelvis onto the crown of your head. Hold here. Find that action again of scooping your elbows in towards the midline. The inner arms are firm, pulling into the midline. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. Come chin to sternum. Don't forget you're holding the block. Guess what? You got to squeeze the inner leg lines. If you're going up, lift your hips as high as you can, hips as high as you can. Hips first, then ribs, then shoulders, and then straighten your arms. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very nice. And slowly release.